If I bang a tuning fork that is tuned to the key of C on this podium, it will begin to vibrate in my hand. And it'll even produce a sound. Then if I take another tuning fork tuned to a different frequency, let's say A, and I hold it up next to the C tuning fork, vibrating, nothing's going to happen over here on the A tuning fork because it's tuned to a different frequency than the vibrating C fork. This is how resonance works. However, if I pick up another C tuning fork and I hit it on the other side of the podium and I hold it, or I'm sorry, if I pick up another C tuning fork that's still, and I hold it up next to the vibrating C tuning fork, it will take on the vibration and it'll begin to vibrate and make a sound. That's how resonance works. And so forgiveness recognizes that if I feel anger, it's mine. If two so-called physical energies are in resonance with each other, they're vibrating at the same frequency. If anger is vibrating in me, and I have experienced this anger 87 different times with 85 different people, what good is it going to do by letting them off the hook for what they supposedly did to me? I need to clean up this vibration. I need to clean up this frequency. I need to get myself tuning to a different level. If I'm tuned to the frequency of anger, I will pick up anger. If I'm tuned to the frequency of love, I will pick up love. My anger is the result of my holding a goal for the world. Some disagreement that I have with how it is. If I can locate what my goal is and forgive that goal, then I get to heal. And I've given and you, if you're the person who triggered my anger, you've given me the gift of the opportunity to bring my anger up to my altar, my conscious awake self, and heal. We don't forgive people, we forgive our goals, we forgive our demands. When it comes to affirmations, let's go back to the idea that we already have it all. Instead of just doing affirmations, I ask that we learn to use them. That we use them to surface and release the adversarial energies inside us. The thing about affirmations is that they work really great when they work. But when they don't work, they don't work. And the rest of the time, they can even do some harm. Because, my question is, why can't we have, what if we could get affirmations to work every single time? And don't get me wrong, if a person happens to be at a point on her journey that she's ready to take a leap forward in some area of life, an affirmation can be just the thing. It can be very, very effective. However, let's look at how affirmations work in the light of resonance and of tuning forks. If I'm in the mirror and I say, I am love, I am love, I am love, or I am healthy, I am healthy, I am healthy, and I have these huge parts of myself that for years, maybe even generations, are screaming out, I hate myself, I'm terrible, I'm awful, I'm fat. And those energies are there inside me. Then, if I notice that, and I know what to do with that, then my affirmation has been successful. Because I've surfaced inside me what I need to heal. The more forgiveness work I do around these thoughts, the more I'll bring into expression the truth that I am love. I am healthy. Because that is the truth about me. And I don't need to go out and get it. I just need to unloose or untie everything inside me that is unlike it. If, however, I say I am love and I am healthy and this other stuff comes up and I deny it or I suppress it, then I'm in trouble. I've got these huge parts of me that have been practicing for years, screaming out horrible things, and it becomes like a spring inside of me. And every time I say the affirmation, I'm pushing down one more time, and I'm loading that spring. And that spring is sooner or later going to let loose, and I'm going to binge on something, or I'm going to go into depression and experience greater suffering. So I know of what I speak on this. I've learned not to deny these parts of myself. I've learned to invite them over for tea. I've learned to invite them to come and sit and hang out. Let them know that I've invited the Holy Spirit to be present here. And I'm not afraid of their presence. I began to explain to these parts of myself that I have learned to love love more than I fear fear. A man named Michael twice taught me that. And so as these things come up, talk with your prayer chaplains about these ideas. We have very powerful prayer chaplains. I think I'm up there today because Betty prayed me here. It's okay to explore these parts of our mind if we do it from a place of being awake, from an enlightened place. And we have other people around us in our spiritual community that will help hold us the space for us when we can't hold it for ourselves in the face of these energies. The funniest thing has happened in my life, and that is that the more forgiveness work I do, and the more grounded I become in the truth about myself, that I am love, the more tolerant I can be of anger inside me, and the jealousy, and the pride, and all of it, because more and more I know it's not who I am. So I don't have to freak out when I find it. It's like, oh, you know, as I do the work that Yeshua taught, I'm going to find this stuff inside myself. I'm going to find these errors. I'm going to find these difficult emotions. And I have to make it okay to find them, or I'm going to stop doing the work. I saw so much of this in myself, and I see it in other true students as well. Spiritual work is often not very pretty, and it's sometimes scary, and sometimes painful. That has been my experience, and it is also an understatement. But so much of that can be avoided if we just learn to not freak out when we find things in ourselves that we don't like. I've got jealousy. Hey, great job. That's terrific. It's terrific that you've gotten in touch with that, and now you can apply the tool of forgiveness. Let go of your goals for how your mind says it's supposed to be, and create your life without being run by jealousy. Because when it's in there, and I'm denying it or avoiding it, it'll run my life from the back. I don't need to learn to love myself. I am love. I trust that. And I learn to let go of my errors in thought. That love will radiate and delight and surprise me all over the place. Love is not actually something I do. It's not actually a verb. It's a noun. It is my essential nature. Yeshua gave a simple and powerful prescription for creating wealth and prosperity in his Sermon on the Mount. He said, people who practice humility will inherit the earth. This has been historically interpreted as the meek shall inherit the earth, and that interpretation is about as far off the mark and unrelated to the actual teaching as you can get. Yeshua used an Aramaic word, mahi, for this humility. And humility from the Aramaic has to do with perceiving and cooperating with the good desires of other people. So if you go back to humility defined in the Aramaic, if I'm vibrating at a frequency related to my true nature of a higher energy of love, I'm going to be able to perceive and cooperate with the good desires of other people. These higher energies are going to increase in them, increase in me, just like the tuning forks, as I walk around the world. Just by my presence, if I'm tuned to these energies, I'm going to resonate those energies in others, and we're going to rise. Can you see how somebody with this ability and someone who demonstrates this in the world will be able to live an incredibly abundant life? Everywhere we go, we're going to be enlivening the highest and best in other people, and that's just physics. It's just practical. It's just real, how life works kind of stuff. There is a problem, though, as a challenge, or even you could call it a game. And that's that for most of us, we have work to do if we're going to display that kind of power and that kind of humility. One of my favorite stories about this comes from a story of a master teacher and his monks high up in the mountains somewhere. And one of the young monks approaches the master teacher and asks, what is the most important difference between me, a monk here, and the master teacher Yeshua? Is it that Yeshua had perfect love and I don't? And the master teacher looked at the monk and smiled and said, no, that's not it. Yeshua had perfect love, and you do too. The important difference is he had nothing else. Yeshua referenced two different minds, this poverty mind and prosperity mind, when he addressed Peter as Satan. We've heard the popular interpretation that says, get thee behind me, Satan, for you think in the mind of man instead of the plan of God. Forgiveness offers us a way out of the mind of man and a way to more fully express the